M. Gustav was the best character ever, and I will explain why.
He got all the girls. He was he was
All the old,
all the old women. He was yeah.
some activities that.
No.
Anyways, the movies we watched were all great, surprisingly, because we have seen Tron Ares, we have seen a few other films that were not really that great.
Yeah.
So, which was your favorite character out of all of them?
I would have to say Frankenstein's monster.
Oh wow. Wow. Not Frankie, as you've been referring to him.
Yes, I've been calling the monster Frankie. What's your favorite character through all three of the movies?
We have seen The Grand Budapest, we have seen Zodiac and Frankenstein. I really liked M. Gustav.
I knew you were gonna pick him. I knew it.
We have tallied up a few questions that we're gonna go over so we can keep it concise and not monologue too much.
Yeah.
For the Grand Budapest Hotel, did Wes Anderson's style help or distract you?
I feel like it helped. The story would not have been what it was without aesthetic framing
Right?
and the costuming and everything. I feel like it would have been a boring story if not for those flourishes.
I think I feel the same way.
Yeah, this is kind of similar, but were you able to connect emotionally, or did the style maybe block or shield some of the more intense emotional moments?
That's a really good question. Personally, I have not seen a lot of films that use color like that. I have seen one other film by him, the Darjeeling Limited, that had some of these proportionally similar scenes, but not color. I feel like there was a lot of color.
Did those colors affect the way you want to dress in your
No,
everyday life?
not really, no. But coming back to the question, I would say yes. Surprisingly, when you look at the trailer or something like this, Wicked or The Wizard of Oz, I'm not saying that it's the same thing, but you expect it to be more non-serious. But I feel like the film had a serious plot. And out of all the three films, Zodiac, The Grand Budapest, and Frankenstein, my favorite character is from The Grand Budapest. So that says a lot. What would you say was the best visual scene for this film?
That's really tough. I feel like it's tough because there were a lot of painted mural type backdrops that also melted into actual, real backdrops, which was really beautiful. The scenes where they're in the snow, they're in the snow and they're in the church are the best visuals.
Yeah. Talking about visuals, the next movie naturally is going to be Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Because that movie was doing a lot. I feel like
Yes.
the art department really put a lot of thought into each scene and the set. And I want to ask that, did you think that this version of the film added something new, or was whatever was added, did you find anything to be unnecessary as to drive the plot of the movie?
I don't think anything added was unnecessary. I think there was definitely a lot that was, pardon the pun, fleshed out in the movie. I think everything that they did add just helped enrich the story. I do think this is just the nature of the period that it's coming from. There were some moments where it felt maybe a little too melodramatic, like the message is a little too heavy-handed, and that's just a dialogue thing. There's just some moments of dialogue where it felt like that. It was a great movie. Probably give it a 5 out of 5. I'm a very critical movie watcher. 5 out of 5 is a big deal. Did you have a specific scene from the movie or line that stood out to you?
I would say the scene where... That's a really good question. I definitely really enjoyed the early scenes of the monster. Just trying to, look like a kid. And Victor, him saying Victor is just kind of sad.
Yeah, he was literally like a baby.
Yeah. The best scene, according to me, is Oscar Isaac's character turning into the antagonist. At first, up until the monster is created, we see him as this scientist. He's really trying very hard to work on this project and make a breakthrough. But when he asks the monster to not touch him, that's when you start slowly seeing him as a dad or as the creator who's not very proud or who's not understanding what he created, and he takes it out on the creation. And that divergence kind of really gives a lot of depth to his character. I would say Oscar Isaac's character was definitely my second favorite after M. Gustav. M. Gustav is a genius. One last question for this, because this is a good question. Was the horror effective in the film or just aesthetic?
I was not super horrified by the effects. I thought it was just gross at times. Like, it was very, like...
Gory, right?
Gory,
Okay.
like, medical, like, gory. And I don't...
Another thing is we were eating. For some reason, we were eating at that
eating.
time because they
When
had
it got the grossest.
they
is
had a
when we started
montage, right,
eating.
of him just
Yes.
creating. There was a war.
And there
and-
were sounds too, and just
Yeah, it was-
ugh. I have a final question.
Yeah.
Who had the best hairstyle of the movie?
Hands down, I would say Oscar Isaac.
Mm.
They spent the entire budget on bro's hair,
His
and
curls.
you can tell that, you can really see that when you if you're gonna watch like the after how it was shot, when his hair is tied up, you can see he has like straight hair.
You didn't like Mia Goth's wig that was not like sewn on at all. It was
That just
on her
like
head.
I don't know. That just felt like Javier Bardem's like CG hair in like Pirates of the Caribbean. Oscar Isaac killed it.
He had great
Killed
hair.
it with his hair, with his acting, and it was overall great film.
Very good movie.
Coming down to our last movie,
The
Which
longest
is-
movie.
Zodiac, that we watched today. And these three films we watched in the span of the last 3 days, I would
Yeah,
say.
that-
Did the slow burn style of the film keep you asking for more, or did it lose you?
I would say 90% kept me asking for more. 10% lost me in a few moments. There were a few, near the middle of the movie, there were a bunch of scenes where it wasn't kind of switching between characters. I think it was just Mark Ruffalo's character. And it was just like him doing stuff.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'm kind of bored now. Like, what is Robert Downey Jr. up to? What's Jake Gyllenhaal up to?
Yeah.
That kind of lost me, but overall, I was very engaged and interested. Was the ending satisfying to you? Did it leave you with more questions? And for
I know you have different opinion on this, but to me it was satisfying. I think the message of the movie was not to find out who the killer is, even though it's like so obvious, like yeah, that's like the whole premise. I think that it kind of shows how on a day-to-day basis in real world time where there's crimes involved and sometimes you know who the criminal is, but you can't prosecute them without proper evidence, and the justice system does, like, they make it really hard for you to be able to charge somebody with certain crimes. And it's almost, and I'm trailing off, it's almost shocking to me how wrong people get convicted for crimes they did not do. And the last question is, did you care more about the mystery or the characters themselves?
I cared more about the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
100%. I feel like with the characters, since it is like these are real people,
Mm-hmm.
they presented it in such a way where it couldn't create that sort of parasocial, oh, like so-and-so is...
Frankie.
It wasn't like that because it was real. Like, they did a good job of presenting it. I didn't really feel connected to any of the characters. I didn't really care about them that much.
All right.
Just to be honest, the mystery was interesting.
Which movie, in your opinion, had the best pacing out of the three?
Probably Grand Budapest Hotel.
Mm-hmm. Which movie had the best character development?
Frankenstein.
We knew that one.
Yeah.
Which movie was the most visually interesting? That's a hard
That's
question.
really
I mean, Zodiac
hard.
kind of goes away because it's like it's more like a documentary
Yeah.
kind of film, but it was really good. But
I
visually,
think
you know,
Grand Budapest again.
nice. 2 out of 3. Which felt the longest versus which felt the shortest?
Grand Budapest felt the shortest, Zodiac felt the longest. I think that you chose Gustav because of course you would choose Gustav. You love being entertained. You really enjoy being like entertained. You enjoy comedy and humor. You just enjoy like that sort of flashy, like commanding type energy. What Gustav's whole role of the movie was, he was the driver of the plot. Carefree type of attitude that I think you try to embody in your life. And you know, He got all the girls. He was he was
All the old.
all the old women. He was
And I think that everybody he interacted with, they just loved him.
yeah,
They
that's
just
your
really-
dream.
I just really loved him. And initially I said I would explain why. And that's pretty much it. I feel like he had a lot of charisma. He had a lot of character to him. The one thing that really made me choose him, how he stood up for Zero in one scene.
Yeah.
I feel like that really connected me with the character because there's like a war going on. It's better to keep your head down. Most of us would do that. And I learned something. I would have, if I hadn't watched the film, I would have done the same thing. You should always stand up for your people, especially when it's hard to stand up for them. I think that's my takeaway. That's why I really connected to the character. Now, why I think she picked Frankenstein is not Frankenstein, Monster, Frankie. I think why you picked him is because he does not have anybody in the world. He does not understand what's going on. There's like very two big things. And he's just in a position of vulnerability. You feel the empathy. Someone like this, I was going to say something, should be treated with kindness and a lot of affection. Like that's why you picked him.
Yeah, I definitely felt empathy for him, and the scenes of Victor like hurting him were very difficult to watch. I just really enjoy like how we as viewers got to see him like blossom into a person, like with a soul and with an identity over the course of the movie. Part of why I chose is because of Jacob Elordi too. I'm being so for real, like that was a shocker. Like his performance being what it was shocking in a good way to me, and I love being surprised like that. I really enjoy that.
What would you give the Grand Budapest Hotel out of 5 tiramisus, 5 being the highest?
I would give the Grand Budapest Hotel 5 out of 5 tiramisus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I would
Yeah.
give 5 out of 5 as well.
Yeah. What about Frankenstein?
Frankenstein was really good for me.
Mm-hmm.
I would give it a 4 out of 5 tiramisus.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great. I did not personally find it to be lacking in any way. It's a great film.
Yeah.
The 4 out of 5 is because I recently just watched the Grand Budapest and the pacing just felt
Yeah.
so good.
Mhm.
Like when you watch a film and you ask yourself like, oh, it's over already. I feel like that's a really good position to
That's
be in as a
true.
filmmaker.
Mhm.
What about you?
I previously said 5 out of 5,
Mm-hmm.
but after hearing what you said, I'm gonna bump it down to a 4.5 out of 5. I still think it was really good, but I agree with what you said, and I think, and I was saying this earlier, I think there were a few times where the message of the movie was a bit like heavy-handed. It was like, okay, I get it.
3 points just because he gets rejected a couple times in the movie. What about our final movie, Zodiac, which is actually the most realistic
Yeah.
that could happen, that did happen in real life?
I would give it a 4 out of 5 because it just really like dragged on at certain points. It was like, damn, 4 years passed again.
But the movie was able to see. This is why I think the movie did a good job.
Yeah,
But
it was
what you're bringing in is it showed the span of a lot of years.
Yeah.
Usually, when films do that,
They do
it
like
does
a time.
not feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a time jump or time
Yeah,
skip.
it feels like
But they were able to give us updates. Like there was a lot of scenes where it's 3 days later, 1 day later, 10 hours
Yeah.
later, and then 3 years later.
you could tell they really studied.
It did not feel like a time skip. It felt like we were growing with the film, which is unique because it wasn't a 19-year-old film. Like we weren't watching the film for that long.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I would still give it 4 out of 5
Yeah.
because see, the pacing for the Grand Budapest fit the story of the film,
Mm.
and the pacing for this felt long, but it needed to be long to show the crime investigation. The movies are peak. The movies we watch are peak, and I'm so glad that there are films like this that are out there that we haven't seen yet, and so we get to watch it.